The stuff that grows your YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers is not usually the same stuff that grows your channel to 100,000 subscribers. Usually the 1,000 subscriber guys are spending a lot of time on keywords and metadata and SEO optimization and things like that in order to grow, and that can get you some traction, but explosive growth comes from other tactics, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and welcome to my backyard. Here at Video Creators, we're all about helping you grow your YouTube channel so you can spread a message that reaches people, changes their lives, starting with your own life. And if you're trying to get to that 100,000 subscriber mark, the algorithm doesn't care how many subscribers you have. I know that's a common thing that I hear a lot from creators. My team and I, we work with hundreds of creators every month, and we hear it like, oh, like how can I grow if I don't have subscribers and attention, but I can't get subscribers and attention without subscribers? And it's like, no. Your subscriber count might be an indicator of how skilled you are at capturing and holding someone's attention. So if your subscribers and your followers is low, then that might be an indicator that you're not holding their attention as well as you could be. So the subscription is more of a reflection. It doesn't cause slow growth. It's a reflection that we still have some skills we need to work on. And that's actually what the algorithm does focus on, which is how do people respond and react to your content when it gets surfaced in front of them? Do they click? Do they watch? Do they spend a considerable amount of time watching? Do they go on and watch more videos from you? Or when YouTube surfaces it, they're like, dude, we're trying to help you out, but every time we surface your video, no one really clicks, and the people that do quickly abandon it. We've got all these other videos that we could surface instead that perform higher than yours, so we're sorry, but we're gonna surface these other ones above yours. So positive response to your content equals more promotion. Weak response to your content equals weaker promotion. So how do we get more of the positive viewer signals, the watch time and the session time and the click-through rates and all that stuff? The things that Google and YouTube really care about to promote our content. Well, it's gonna take a different skill set than what you have right now, or at least a more fine-tuned and specific skill set that, like with skills that are constantly developing. Starting with number one, which is really narrowing in on your target audience. You can kind of get some growth here and there by like going after some general audience of people who might like your style, your genre, or your niche, or something like that. But it's gonna take a lot more than a few people to just kind of like, oh, I casually like this guy. It's gonna be really slow growth to get to 100,000 subs. What you really need is to know exactly who you're going after and develop a strategy that person, when they hear you and they find you for the first time, one, they're gonna get it, like, and then they're gonna think, oh, where have you been my whole life? Like, I've been looking for your channel. This is exactly what I need. How do you elicit that type of a response from someone immediately as a first-time viewer once they discover your channel and your content for the very first time? That's actually number two, but before we get there, when your target audience, you need to know this person's story. They are a character, they want something, they can't have it, there's stakes if they don't get it, and then who or what comes along and helps them? Your video plays that role in their story, helps them overcome their obstacles, get what they want, and ultimately experience the transformation in their life that they really want to experience, whether that be through something educational, kind of like my channel here, or entertainment as an escape, or maybe like as a perceived relationship that someone has with you as maybe a vlogging entertainment personality channel. The more deeply you understand your target audience and what they want, what their obstacles are, and the role that your content plays in their story, the more likely that audience is to gravitate to you once they find you, and then the more likely YouTube search and discovery systems are to promote and surface your content to other people like that once it proves to really resonate very strongly with that target audience. Now, to get that to happen, number two is your brand needs to be very clear to a first-time viewer. I do a lot of, my team and I, we work with like a couple hundred creators every month, and when I look at some of the consultations of the channels I'm working with, when we first start working with them, I'm like, okay, put yourself in a first-time viewer's shoes. Let's say this is their first time coming to their channel or coming to one of your videos. How quickly can they pick up on exactly what value they're going to get from you and your channel that would compel them to be like, I need more of this? Usually what happens is the brand makes sense after you're already familiar with the brand, then the imagery, the language of the things, then they kind of connect. But if you want to build momentum, you needed to connect with people who have never heard of you before. This is their very first time ever hearing of you, looking at you, and frankly, they don't even care about you yet. They're just wondering, what benefit, reward, or value am I going to get from this channel? So that means everything from like your channel art to your channel trailer and the sections beneath it, all the way to like how do you pitch yourself in titles and thumbnails, and your opening hooks and your branded intro. Is that just like your logo doing a fancy flip, or is that actually adding more value, setting up an expectation for this is the value I'm going to get from this brand? How you introduce yourself, everything, it all needs to work together to making it super clear. Like, how confused are you here at Video Creators if this is your first time watching one of my videos about what we're all about and what we're doing here for you? Hopefully not very confused. The third thing that's holding you back from the 100K subs is that you're not planning out your content a whole lot. And by planning, I mean not necessarily the amount of time you're putting into it, but that you're doing the right things in the right order. A lot of people create their content and they upload it, and while it's uploading, they try to think of like, what's my title and thumbnail gonna be? And I'm like, I don't know. And they go with something that is a good title and thumbnail, but the video doesn't actually deliver on that thing until like 8 minutes into the content, and by then they've lost all those first-time viewers who clicked for that title and thumbnail. Or maybe the title and thumbnail makes sense after you watch the video, not before. The title and thumbnail needs to create the tension in the brain that causes that person to click. It really needs to tease that story, tease the value, the reward, the benefit that someone's going to get. It should not just merely describe just exactly what that video is, and it's really not about keyword stuffing either. We're optimizing 100% for humans here, not for robots. You could get all of the right keyword shoved in the right place in that title, and if no one's enticed to click, it doesn't really matter. But if the title and thumbnail work together and pitch the human element that says, oh, I know what I'm gonna get here, that's gonna get more click. That video is gonna perform much better than any other perfectly optimized SEO type of video. So plan your title and your thumbnail even before you tap that record button, and then that's the only way you can really craft the first seconds of that content to match exactly the expectation that the title and thumbnail set, so that they keep watching. Now, after they get past that hook, the key to keeping them watching longer and longer really comes down to story. How well can you tell a story that really connects and resonates with your audience? If it's a tutorial video, it's like, hey, I've heard some of you guys, like I did here, maybe you are struggling with getting that 100,000, or like I told part of your story and you're like, yes, that's me. And so you're connecting with it. But even if it's a straight up entertainment channel, like this should be really easy. It's like, how do you tell the story that your audience is going to be like, what happens there? What happens next? So is that for real or whatever? Creates the tension, gets the click, and now you're quickly going through that 3-act structure. We'll talk more about the story element in a second. But number 4 is you have to keep experimenting. You can do a lot of different things, find something that works, and then once you get to that 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 subscriber range, a lot of those creators are like, oh, I found what works. And they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes for years, and it kind of turns into a hamster wheel race because like it worked to get me to 10,000. Why is it not working to get me to 100,000? That's because you need to continually experiment and try new things. This might be that the thing you're doing, it really is only good to getting you to that 10,000 subscriber, 1,000 subscriber mark. But to get to 100,000 and million, it's going to require maybe a different approach, a different twist. Now, the value proposition that you're delivering to your target audience, that should always be the same. But if you feel kind of flatline, like think about what would version 2.0 of your channel look like? Even a television series doesn't usually go longer than 7 seasons if it's a really good show. So 7 seasons at like 13 episodes per season, you're at like around 90 some episodes for the entire lifespan of that series. So if you're getting up to like, especially getting close to that 90 some video mark, you've probably pushed the limits on how far you can take that before you should start experimenting. How do you increase the value, increase what you're delivering so that those people are like, oh, this feels new, this feels fresh, and I want to keep watching what this person's doing. The top creators on YouTube that just keep continually growing and growing, I've noticed that they tend to not pivot, but reinvent themselves about every 1.5 to 2 years or so on YouTube. I've noticed that the musicians who do the same thing, like who are still relevant like a decade later, they continually reinvent themselves every album moving forward. Like, so it's a normal thing. Even Hollywood celebrities and actors and actresses, Like the way they present themselves and develop their personal brand tends to change every few years. So we as creators, we need to do the same. And number 5, this is really big, guys, is that you are optimizing your content for the viewing session. Not just like getting them in, clicking, hey guys, hope this is helpful, let me know what you think. You need people to keep watching, to keep going. And so when you shoot your content, even again, before you hit record, you know how it's gonna open, you know, the title and thumbnail that brought them into the opening seconds of the content. But then when they get to the end of the video, you need to know what action do you want that person to take next. And if you want the videos to really perform well and be more discoverable, the main thing you need to do is get them to click on another video. So I told you we're gonna talk about the storytelling element. I put together a short playlist with all my best videos to help you tell and craft stories that will hook and engage your target audience and keep them watching longer. So click that video there over my shoulder and let's keep going into that.